I'm very, very excited to announce our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Training Institute. This training institute is a major step in our journey to build communities of belonging within our villages and within Village Movement California. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Yvette Leung, and we can get rid of the slide for now. Great. Yvette, you may recognize Yvette from last year's conference. Yvette was one of our facilitators for the Building Communities of Belonging workshop. And excuse me, Yvette is our consultant at Village Movement California with the Village Movement California Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Journey, and with our Institute. So Yvette and I and Laura Peck, who you met yesterday, and Donna Terazawa, another Ashby Village member, and I have been working on the Training Institute. And Yvette is an organizational coach and systems change agent. She's had her own consulting business, Wise Change, Y''S change, since 2012. She coaches individuals and teams on diversity, equity, and inclusion and collaborative leadership. She was previously employed with Alameda County Healthcare Services Agency and Contra Costa Health Services, where I met her back in the day. She's a trainer for quantum culture. She's a facilitator for the Untraining, which several of us have participated in. She has led complex discussions among BIPOC only organizations and mixed race participants on the issues of race. That's something we did last year, on issues of race, bias, and whiteness. Yvette has her master's degree from the University of Berkeley, UC Berkeley. And Yvette has also joined us as she's gone along a caregiving journey with her parents. And that is significant because we've shared those experiences as well. So I'm gonna leave the screen and Yvette, take it away. And Luke, I think Yvette will be showing her slides. Is that the case, Yvette?
Yes,
okay.
I'll be showing my own slides. Well, hello, everyone. I wanted to just have a chance to see all of your faces. And I'm excited to give you a quick overview and actually invite you to apply to be part of our DEI Training Institute. So I'm going to share my screen and hopefully technology will be on my side. Okay. Everyone can see the slides? Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically, we're calling it a training circle. What our goal and objective is overall is that villages will more accurately reflect California's diversity. I worked with Charlotte last year to really look at if VMC, Village Movement California, is going to be part of the state plan, that this is one of their goals. And so the objective is really for villages to participate in this DEI Institute and also feel comfortable with organizing and holding conversations on issues of race and identity. I love that right before this section, you had the bridging, those bridging conversations. And for us, I think to have a chance to even look at what are the different thoughts, what are the different issues, and how do we actually, how do we become villages of belonging? And what does that look like as we talk about race and identity? What are some of the core programs that you'll be involved with if you decide to join this effort? That we'll have sessions that will build on the folks in the room. So it's what your knowledge is and your awareness and your skills, and build on that competency, and look at these complex issues of race and identity and social conditioning. We'll also be really focusing on it being a community of practice. And so I think last year, what we had found out was there's a number of you already doing some of this. And so we'd love this to be an opportunity for you to share. This is what I've been doing, and this is what some of our successes have been, and here are some of our challenges. The culminating project will be to host at least one conversation on race and identity in your village. And if you've already done that, I think it would be to hold more. This is what we're looking for. We are seeking basically 10 villages to join us. They're 2-person teams. I'm going to just kind of highlight as I go. And those team members, the pairs, can be consisting of village volunteers, board members, and then even staff members. What we are saying is to limit it to 1 staff per team. The commitment is that you would participate in all 4 sessions. We're going to have it from September to December. And what we're looking for is leadership skills. And the leadership skills that we're looking for is the ability to influence leaders, members, and volunteers, and actually have the trust and respect of those who have the loud voices and the quiet voices throughout their village. We're also asking that the folks that apply have what we're calling the stick-to-it-ness skills, which is really the ability to launch and manage projects within your village, as well as having a beginner's mind, an openness and eagerness to learn from one another, and a willingness to suspend judgment. And lastly, we are looking for a willingness and ability to lead group conversations. I'm just going to go through these quickly, these slides. The logistics, it's 4 months, starting from September of this year until December, and they will be from 9 to 1 with breaks in the middle. And here are our lovely faces of the folks that have been planning. So I'm going to stop share and just leave it for questions that you might have. And I'm also going to put the, if I can find it, I'm going to put the application link into the chat.
While Yvette is doing that, and I see that we have some hands raised, and Yvette, you'll call on those people while you're getting that link in. There'll be 4 sessions total, so one per month, and then and then there'll be more that will happen in the winter. But we're talking about this one starting piece.
Okay, great. I'm going to have Laura go first, since she's one of our planners.
I wanted to underscore the notion that this is not just an idea of doing good for others. It's also a leadership development strategy. And one of the things that I heard a lot in the groups yesterday was the question of sustainability and how do you keep leaders growing and stepping up as others step down. So we really see this as a way to as one strategy to develop leaders across the village. So I would just invite you, you don't already have to be one. You don't have to have some perfect resume. You do have to have a curiosity and a willingness to learn and kind of step out of your comfort zone to take on a different shape and invite others to grow with you. So I just wanted to emphasize that. And we're going to have fun. that's the other thing I wanted to say.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I would say we want to have fun. We want to be learning. And what I would say, just to tag from the last conversation, is we want to put trust and we want to put belonging in the middle as these core values in the middle of what I would call the circle. And what does it look like for us to practice trust and belonging? And I did put the slide of what we're looking for back on the screen. I think everyone can see that. I think there were 2 questions, but now I don't see any questions. Are there questions or comments?
I don't think, can you hear me?
I can
don't-
hear you.
Oh, okay. I don't think you can raise hands with the slide up, but I'm not sure. Maybe you can. I have a couple questions. One is, so you want 2 people from each village, and September to December is a long time for 4 months. So is it like once a month? And then
Yes.
what is the cost?
I forget. What did we say?
We haven't
Sarah?
established a cost. That's a question. We really want to make sure you participate. So I'm going to punt that. If there is going to be a cost, it's going to be really low.
And what I forgot to write down is it's the first Wednesday of the month, 9 to 1.
So maybe take the slide down so we can see raised hands.
Okay, great.
There you go.
Okay, Janet.
Is there any way you could open this up so that everybody could join? I mean, why couldn't we?
Such a great question.
Could we have 2 people from each village? Why make competition of this? I mean, why do we have to compete for this?
Well, so I will say this, that I did a quick meditation and a dream this morning about what we were hoping for. And that was my dream, that there would be so many people who wanted to be a part of this. So Janet, you're speaking my dream. And logistically, what the planners and I are trying to do is really hold space for the kind of deep conversations that need to happen. And when we're doing this by Zoom, which we are going to have to, you know, logistically, it's really nice to be able to see every single person's face. And logistically, we can only see like 24 faces. So that's kind of part of the issue. Now, if there was a lot more interest, we would probably have a second cohort. So you wouldn't have to worry about, you know, if there was really that interest. So I think I can guarantee you if there was, we would open it up. So thank you for your enthusiasm. Dina?
Dinah, hi.
Dinah.
Are you giving preference to people in certain areas that feel that there is a lot of diversity, a lot of application for this type, or a lot of need for this type of goal setting?
We're just so actually, before I answer your question, Charlotte, do we have time for just Dinah's question, and then we're going to be in a breakout? Tell me what our.
I think that what we're going to do is we'll have Dinah's question and then Wayne's. Then we're going to move on because I really don't want to wear you guys out. And then Yvette and Laura will be in a breakout room after the program ends for a half hour. So you get to really get a lot of questions in there. So let's just take Dinah and Wayne, and then we'll move on to the next, and you can go to the breakout room. And also we will be available after the conference to talk about this. Dinah, in terms of the geographic mix, we want to have a mix from across the state, and there will be some questions in the application about the communities in your area that you might want to reach. And I say go for it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlotte. Wayne?
Yeah, it sounds like this is a train the trainer kind of program, where you have 2 volunteers from a village participate in the meetings and then go back to their village and implement something bigger so that it includes more of the members.
I mean, we're calling it, I mean, we're envisioning as, I like that you're saying that it's train the trainer, it's a movement, because we want this to be a community of practice where people can say, hey, I want to do something like this. I've done one, or I haven't done one, and I'm having some challenges. We talk about it, and then we kind of light like the little flame that then can become brighter lights throughout. So we would want you to have some experience at least facilitating a group, but it doesn't necessarily have to be on issues of diversity and inclusion.
Like, for instance, we do have an inclusivity committee. So I'm assuming somebody from that committee would be one of the people. And then I guess the other person would be a staff person.
You know, it's kind of up to the village team, however you want to make that up.
So it doesn't have, one person doesn't have to be a staff member.
No, it could be a board member, it could be 2 volunteers, no staff. It could be a board member and a staff. It could be a DEI person and a staff. It could be whatever the mix is that you want it to look like.
Okay, thanks.